Hey everybody, it's Pastor Mike from Grace. I want to thank you for joining us again this week as we do yet another mini devotional. In my own personal devotional time, I've been studying at the end of Second Chronicles, moving into Ezra and Nehemiah, and there is an interesting time in the history of Israel because you have the northern kingdom of Israel goes into exile, then the southern kingdom of Israel goes into exile. And then less than 100 years later, Cyrus, the king of Persia, decides, led by God, to send God's people back to Jerusalem and to begin to rebuild the temple. Shortly thereafter, there's this gentleman named Nehemiah. He was the cupbearer to the king in Persia, and he hears about his brothers and sisters, fellow Israelites, back in Jerusalem. They're rebuilding the temple, but at the same time, the wall has been destroyed. And now, what that means for them is that they are in danger, right? They're in danger of the people around them. Anything could happen to them at any time, and until that wall is rebuilt, they're going to be susceptible to attack. Well, this just burdens Nehemiah's heart, and he begins to think and dream about what it would look like to be able to return, to rebuild that wall, and to protect God's people. In other words, Nehemiah is scared. He's scared for the people he loves, he's scared for the people he knows, and he wants them well protected. And maybe that's how you're feeling even now. You're scared and concerned because of the COVID-19 virus, and you want to see the people that you love and care about well protected, and you want to see them doing well. It's a normal feeling to have that fear and concern about the people that you love. But Nehemiah begins to do something, right? He sees a concern and he begins to do something. Because what he is dreaming about is God's people being back together. That's what we're doing here. We're dreaming about God's people being back together again. We're imagining it. We're dreaming it. Listen to this from Nehemiah chapter 1. He's praying to God, and he says this. He says, "Remember the word that you commanded your servant Moses, saying, if you are unfaithful, I will scatter you among the peoples. But if you return to me and keep my commandments and do them, though your outcasts are in the uttermost parts of heaven," in other words, they might be really far away, "from there I will gather them and bring them to the place that I have chosen to make my name dwell there." We are dreaming of that day when we can gather together again as God's people, proclaiming God's name to all the people. As soon as we can do that, we're going to begin to do that. We're already making plans that we're hoping will soon be able to carry out, and that is the gathering of God's people. We look forward to that day. Look, we love you all, we miss you all, and we so want to be back together again, back together as God's people, loving one another, caring for one another. Look, I hope that you are feeling somewhat connected to the church. I hope that you're continuing to watch our services on Sunday and participating with us in that way. I hope that you're gathering with your community group, at least digitally on Zoom or something like that. Our Bible studies continue to meet. Even our Sunday school classes continue to meet during this time. If you're not participating in any of those things and you want to be better connected, please reach out to the church, to our email, or give a call so that we can make sure that you are connected to your brothers and sisters in Jesus here at Grace. Again, love you all, miss you all. Can't wait for us all to be back together again. Lord willing, it will be sooner rather than later. God bless.